watching some of your videos is you're this really talented storyteller, right? You're very charismatic. You've got this character that you want to listen to, right? So has that always been something you had, or was that like a skill you developed? Where does this come from?
I didn't take any lessons, but my grandfather was an amazing storyteller. And there was this one story he would tell, and I bet I'd heard that story 100 times. And it was about how his mother would go out to this meat house and she would actually like cut the bacon off in the morning. And my family is from Tennessee, the hills of Tennessee. And he talked about this tin roof, and he talked about the dew on the grass as he would walk out there with his mother. And when it rained, that he could hear these raindrops. And I remember as a child, just it was like I was cold when he was telling the story. Like I could feel every part of it. And I think that it was just sitting and listening to my grandfather talk and tell stories in my family from Tennessee that maybe it just came naturally. It's not anything that I like intend to do or plan to do.
Hmm.
It just is kind of the way I talk.
Yeah, a bit of the bard runs in your blood.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's interesting that you like are mentioning these specific details of like the rain on the tin roof. Because I noticed something that's something that you do a lot in like the way you storytell. And like I listened to a few podcasts you've been on, watched some of your videos, and there was like repeating details I noticed. Like obviously I was looking for stuff about like your journey as like a content creator, and there was like specific dates you would reference, like this date on this year. And so I don't know, the way you're explaining that, it's like this way of storytelling that sounds like you kind of like have just, grew up kind of through osmosis. I think it's like that's like a thing families pass down, right? The way we talk, the way we like
Yeah.
relate to the world. Um, I was gonna ask if you like, because you put out a lot of content, and we'll get into more of that a little later. But are you like workshopping the stories you're gonna tell for your videos behind the scenes? Is it like, are you writing notes, or is it kind of just all in the mix up there, and you just kind of extract it?
So used to, it was all in my head. And then as I started like creating content like on a regular basis, because you got to remember, like when I started this, I was going to make 8 TikToks for a month. So
Doesn't
I
work
was
like
going to
that.
release them twice a week. And for the first 90 days, that's what I did. Was I just released on Tuesday and Thursday, and that was it. And so then I started making, and so it was all in my head. Then I started
Hmm.
making notes in my notes app. And then I had an intern 2 years ago, and he goes, "Hey, why don't we create you a Google form that I can put on your phone? And then that way, when you have an idea, you can just put it in the form. And then when you sit down to record, you can pull up your sheet." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Do you know how to do that?" He's like, "Yeah, I can." He's, I don't know, 18, 19 years old. He's like, "Yeah, Glenda, I can do it."
Yeah.
So he made that for me, and ever since then, I mean, it's literally, you think it's hilarious. Now, look, I'm going to show it to you, but if anybody is a hater on how many notifications I have, I don't want to hear that. Just
She's a
hush.
busy woman,
It's not your email. It's not your text messages. It's not your voicemail. Let me deal with the chaos that is my life.
Let her cook.
But on the front screen of my phone, right there,
Hmm.
it says video
Oh,
ideas.
that's so
And
good.
you literally just click it, and it comes up Google Docs, and
Wow,
what is the idea? And
that's so
that's
smart.
that's literally all I do. I have an idea, I put the idea there, whatever was like the inspiration for it, whatever like jogged my memory to get
Yeah.
me to that, whether it was a link or something that I heard or something that I saw, I put that there. And then the next thing is, what is the note or the caption summary? Like, where
Mhm.
do you want to go with this? And that's literally it. And then submit. And then the day that I record, we open the laptop and go through the list.
See what you did. That's really smart. It's like, because I'll do that sometimes with ideas where it's just in the notes app, but then it's like, oh, then you've got these old notes that I forgot about these ones, and etc. Having that form, I think, is because then it's like one line for each thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I might have to steal that.
Yeah.
So, okay,
No charge for that tip.
no charge. Okay.